It's been a while. It's been a long while, actually. I had big plans for this summer to get a lot of work done on the Legacy, and I did nothing. I got absolutely nothing done on that car. And there were a lot of reasons. It was a super busy summer. It was a really stressful summer. Yeah, anyway, nothing happened to the car, which sucks. It's still right there where I left it. And a lot of it, I mean, I picked up this thing right here, this downhill bike that I built, and I've been riding my bike a lot, which is great. But yeah, I did nothing to the Legacy, and I feel bad about it. But now it's 1st of September, the weather is okay. I feel like I can actually start making progress on the Legacy again. So the plan is still the same. I'm going to manual swap it, so I have a manual transmission from another 92 Sport Sedan. I'm going to put that into this car. But before I do that, the motor here has like a major leak. It's leaking big time, and I'm pretty sure it's coming from the cam seals on the passenger side. So I can do that in the car, we can change that in the car, but I really want to do a refresh for the whole motor. So new gaskets, new seals, all of that. So I'm just going to pull the motor. It's something that I've kind of been planning to do and wanting to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull that motor out of the car, get it resealed. Head gaskets I think are in good condition, but I'm going to look at them and evaluate once it's out of the car. So that's the plan. I'm back. We're going to get moving on the Legacy, and we're going to make some progress. It'll be nice. Here we go. So to get started today, I've just made a quick checklist of procedures that we need to do to get the motor out. And I'm taking this list from Subaru Only channel. If you guys aren't subscribed to that guy, he is awesome. He's got some great content on the channel. He has an entire series of like 18 videos doing step-by-step how to remove an engine, and it's basically these 16 or 17 steps, and he has like a 10-minute video for each of them. So if you're wondering how to do this, you've never done it before, go check out his channel, look at that video series. It's great. That's what I'm basing all of my information on, basically. So this is my list today. We're just going to get through as much of it as we can, and we'll see how the day goes. Okay, steps 1 and 2 are done. Lift the car and secure the hood. So I'm running just bungee cord from the top and wrapping it around the mirror. I'm doing that on both sides, so that is pretty secure. Now, the first real step is to drain the radiator and remove the radiator. So we'll get that started, but before I do that, I'm going to label everything I can and figure out, what is going to stay on the motor and what needs to stay in the engine bay. So I'm going to label as best I can just to make it easier for me when we're reassembling everything. So let's do that. Alright, so I have most of the things labeled that I need labeled. I'm pretty sure I'm going to remember the order, but there's just a huge maze of vacuum lines everywhere, so I'm just trying to label everything to make it idiot proof. So I think I've got that covered. I think I've got this end covered. A lot of these, like the heater hoses and things like that, we can handle that later, but I think that's everything I'm going to need labeled for now. So the next step is to drain the radiator. So I'm going to get down on the ground and try not to make a mess as I get this thing draining. All right, before I do the radiator, I'm going to try to discharge the fuel system. So to do that, I'm going to disconnect the connector at the fuel pump. That way I don't have high pressure fuel spraying at me when I try to take those fuel lines off. So we'll do that. I was hoping I would be able to do this without making a mess, but there's no way. This is going to be a huge mess. So here we go. I should be wearing wet gloves, not dry gloves. Oh, nailed it. Oh my god. How not to drain a radiator. Jeez. Alright, I think this is peed enough. Let's see if we can get the pet cock back in. Now it's disconnecting radiator fans. There we go. That's one. The other one's over there. Come on. That's the second one. Alright, core supports. Those are up there. I do love this thing. This thing is awesome, by the way. Now we got to contend with the hoses. So that upper radiator hose, lower one, that one's going to be a bit of a trick, but we'll get it. Here we go. All right, everything should be disconnected. So famous last words. Time's the charm. There it is, one OEM radiator, and this guy has seen better days. There's a lot of corrosion and rust on the bottom. You can see the fins are getting discolored. Might be time to get a new one, but here we are. Overflow and radiator out. Okay, so with the battery out, the window washer reservoir out, the radiator and overflow out, that is basically everything on the driver's side, aside from the fuel system, which we'll get to that later. So now we would need to move over to the passenger side and remove the air intake. So everything from here to the air box. We'll move that all out. All right, so far the hardest part of this has been removing the chimney. I snapped 2 bolts, but they're so rusted, and yeah, that thing has never been off before, obviously. But there's my turbo. Look at how cute it is. It's so tiny. But I can see here these are going to be problems to get the downpipe off of it, so I am going to soak these things in PB Blaster and pray to every god I know and see if we can get this to separate from the downpipe. It's going to be a fight, I think, so we'll get this soaking. All right, so air intake is out, and that's basically everything on the passenger side that needs to be removed. Everything else kind of stays with the motor. Next step is, let's see, it would be top mount intercooler if you had one, which I don't, so it'll probably be into removing fuel lines at this point. Okay, yeah, probably fuel lines and then the pitch stop in the back, but I might leave the pitch stop for a little later. Okay, we'll do this for sure though. All right, let's get after these fuel lines. Hopefully they don't spray in my face. They should be discharged. Should be. Might be replacing fuel lines after this. These things are in nasty condition. These are bad. All right, I'm gonna try to be as gentle as I can here. Ooh. Picked up a set of these silicone plugs on Amazon. They're awesome. Just for that. I'm also going to cap off these fuel lines. That way, don't need to worry too much about fumes in my engine bay. Nice. Fuel lines. Okay. I've made quite a bit of progress. So I've got the airbox out, of course. I got the chimney out. here. I've got most of the vacuum lines removed. I have the throttle body intake out. Of course, we have the radiator and the overflow tank out, the battery, the window washer reservoir out. I have my fuel lines disconnected and plugged. My pitch mount, I have that out as well. And this is the ground to the starter, so that is off. Starter's ready to come out. And then I think I've got all the vacuum lines, but there's always ones that you miss. I think there's more right under the throttle body actually. So I'll need to do that. So I think this is pretty much ready. The one hiccup is, like I suspected, the downpipe from the turbo. These bolts are super seized. So I'm going to soak them with PB Blaster and see if I can get them to turn. Yeah, fingers crossed. But that's the progress for today. I think I'm going to call it today and pick it back up tomorrow. Not bad. Dude, PB Blaster is liquid gold. So I was just able to get these to break and spin. So they are all spinning now. It only took a little gentle persuasion from my 3/8 inch breaker bar. And there were a lot of prayers involved. So thank you. Jesus, take the wheel.